What's going on, everyone? I hope you had a great weekend. Last week, the market was filled with a bunch of great opportunities and moves in both directions. If you had an awesome week last week, then let's go. Keep on rolling. But even if you didn't, that's all right. Now's the time to regroup and prepare yourself for this week. We have more exciting earnings on the schedule. We have 2 Powell speeches. And at the same time, there are some stocks moving in some very crazy ways. So with that being said, Tom, let's jump right into it.
Yeah, last week was amazing, Mike. And whenever we look across the market, what was the main thing on Friday that pushed the market up? I would have to say it's the chip stocks. I mean, you can pick just about any of them out there. Nvidia, Qualcomm, AMD, even Meta, which isn't necessarily chip stocks, but they're in that AI category. They all were exploding. Meta actually broke $500 on Friday. We saw a great move there. Nvidia was up 4%. AMD continued to power higher, up 5% Friday after exploding Thursday as well. They're now above $200. So we're seeing stocks pass some major resistances. And what did that do? That pushed SPY up to new all-time highs, hitting 513. So going into this week, Mike, we have a lot on the radar. Obviously, the Powell speeches are going to be very, very important. But to kick things off, I guess, 16 out of 18 weeks, not bad, right?
Exactly. So as you kind of alluded to, the stock market euphoria continues on. Out of the past 18 weeks, 16 of them have finished in the green, which is the longest stretch that the market has seen in over 50 years. Like, we have to go all the way back to 1971 to find a similar example. So there's a lot of euphoria in the market right now. And what's interesting is that March is especially a strong month for the stock market, which is great to see. What's interesting, though, is that January and February normally are pretty tame, but the market basically said, don't really care, I'm going up anyways for this year. So, the main thing to know is that there's a lot of euphoria in the market right now for multiple reasons. The level of euphoria that we have right now is something that we haven't seen in some ways since 1971. It's been a long time. And this is all happening as the U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion by around every 100 days or so. So what great news, right? And this problem only seems to get exponentially worse because as the debt grows even more, the interest payments on that debt start rising like a snowball effect, kind of. So it's pretty interesting. And on top of that, when we look at the consumer side of things, credit card debt just broke a brand new record, 1.13 trillion. So that's a great thing to see. This is happening at the same time. Credit card interest rates are the highest they've been in a while, and credit card and auto loan delinquencies are rising at their greatest pace since the Great Recession. And the stock market is ripping past new all-time highs every single day, right? It's a very interesting situation. And basically what this calls for is, like, even though there are some big risks to the overall economy right now, the stock market has a lot of euphoria, and you can't really fight that trend because if you do, you're going to get ran over, as many people have over the past year. So in the short term, it's all about being adaptable and following where the money's flowing. If you see chip stocks blasting to the upside, get aboard that trend. But when the trend changes, you don't want to be left holding the bag. You have to be quick to adapt. Whether the market goes up or down, follow the flows, follow the money, and just be willing to adapt. That's the best thing you can do in this market, and just don't get caught holding the bag.
Yeah, and I know a lot of shorter-term traders watch us. On any given day, the stock market could go up or down, so that adaptability is very important, but it's just been so explosive lately. Like, as a longer-term trader, I'm not really looking to necessarily buy shares up here, but I do think that, continuing to the upside on some of these stocks like Nvidia and AMD could be really good coming this week. Like, if we continue to see AMD exploding above $200, there's definitely going to be momentum there. Our bots even picked up on it last week. The Surge bot hit it out of the park towards the end of the week with an AMD play. So I'll go ahead and look at AMD again for this week, Mike. But, at some point, these stocks are going to start to pull back a little bit. But for now, hey, the train keeps on chugging along. And, until that, I guess, gasoline starts to run out, we're going to keep going up.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Just be adaptable and, looking where the flows are, heading to right now. It's all in the chip stocks. AMD, Nvidia, AVGO. You could say Qualcomm. You can say AMAT, SMCI, MU. Like, there's a bunch of them. And, until the trend stops, just keep a close eye on them going forward. But, Tom, we can't forget about the Powell speeches this week either, because that'll definitely add in some extra volatility to the markets, like they always do.
Yeah, exactly, right? He's going to be testifying towards Congress here this week, and on Wednesday, he's going to be testifying to the House, and then on Thursday to the Senate, and this is just the semi-annual monetary policy report that he does with Congress, and there's going to be some interesting questions. I know that I always like seeing what, Elizabeth Warren and some of these people ask him. Sometimes it's kind of comical.
Exactly, and as a clarification, this is not an interest rate decision. Powell is not going to be raising or lowering interest rates. He's just going to be getting grilled by the House and Senate. So keep a close eye on these two events for Wednesday and Thursday. They're going to happen at 10 a.m. on each day. And then looking at the other events for the week, we have ISM data coming out on Tuesday and some unemployment data coming out on Friday. And we'll hit on those more as we get closer to those events. But Tom, earnings season is winding down a little bit, but we still do have a couple exciting reports for the week.
Yeah, we definitely do. Tomorrow morning, C Limited, or ticker symbol SE's reporting before the market opens. That's going to be a pretty big report. Then Tuesday, we have NEO and Target in pre-market. Those are two pretty big stocks. I know everyone's going to be watching NEO with being an EV stock and everything. CrowdStrike and ChargePoint, and after hours, we got JD with one of the China stocks there on Wednesday. Thursday, we have Kroger, AVGO, and then Costco. So there's quite a few mixed in this week, even DocuSign down there. So again, it's not like we're seeing Apple or Nvidia or anything like that, but these stocks will see good movement, just like we saw out of a few of them last week, like Snowflake and a couple others.
Perfect. All right, well, let's get right into our setups and predictions for tomorrow. One stock I'm watching very closely is GLD. And I talked about this one in Thursday night's video to the upside, and it had a fantastic day on Friday. You really couldn't ask for anything better out of a stock like this. Gold prices are getting closer and closer to their highs right now, and, there's a lot of volume flowing in as well. So I'm going to have a very close eye on GLD to the upside. As a reminder, GLD follows gold prices, so you will not see this swing like a crazy hype stock, chip stock nowadays. It's more of a slower moving stock, but not necessarily in a bad way, because this stock, moves more so like relatively consistently over the course of multiple days and weeks, rather than just like one giant crazy day on any given day. So long story short, I'm watching GLD to the upside in the short term.
Me too. I think there's a lot of upside potential with gold here, especially if it breaks this resistance. There could be some good breakout opportunities, so I'll keep it on the radar for tomorrow and even for the whole week. But with my first play, I'm looking at ExxonMobil to the upside. This is an oil stock. We talk about it quite often. And over the past few months, Mike, I know that I've actually specifically mentioned this specific thing that's going on right now with OPEC Plus. They're looking to extend their oil output cuts to the second quarter. I've been looking for this to happen, and I've also been looking for oil to continue up and out of this recent range. So considering we have good news with OPEC Plus, which comprises so many countries and a ton of the world's oil output, like you have the UAE in here, you have Saudi Arabia, you have Russia. There are a ton of members of OPEC and OPEC Plus. So keep that in mind. But going into this week, I'll be looking for Exxon to break 105, 105.50. It's really holding well above that range. So if it keeps holding above there, I will look for more bullish momentum. It's going to be something where you kind of have to feel it out morning by morning and see if we're going to really get that good upside potential going. But, watching this one for momentum in the short term is definitely on my radar.
All right, sounds good. Another setup I'm watching pretty closely right now is Alibaba. This stock has been trying to rise so much in the short term, but at the same time, it's really lacking some true momentum. The Chinese government has been doing just about everything they can to get their stocks to rise, and it's kind of working in the short term, but again, it's just lacking that true momentum. So I'm going to have the close eye on this one, and if it starts to run up in a meaningful way with good volume, then there's definitely opportunity to the upside there. But at the same time, if when it does run up, it doesn't run up with like any good volume, then it would just be so much harder to justify playing. So basically, I'm watching this one right now, but it kind of has to prove itself, and it has to start to move up with some good momentum and good volume in order to be played.
Yeah, and I really kind of like this because it's coming off of a recent dip. Might be a good dip buying opportunity in the short term. So I'll definitely keep it on the radar too. With my next play, I'm looking at Boeing, and there is a huge level that I've been looking at for multiple weeks now on this stock, and that is $200 even. And we can see how large this level is when we go to the book map. There were a ton of buyers stacked up at 200 on Friday. It failed to break down below there. I'm going to watch this area so closely this week. If Boeing's able to get down under 200 with some good volatility, I will look at puts to the downside. They've had a lot of negative news in the short term. We've heard a bunch of stuff about those 737s having issues, and it seems like the issues just never stop. So I'm going to keep watching it here. If it does end up bouncing off of 200 and moving up, there will be opportunity there too. But I think the main move here is just waiting for that breakdown and to see, that volatile move to the downside.
Exactly. And as you can see on Bookmap, $200 has been a very strong level that a lot of liquidity has come in at in the past. You could even see there's a lot of buyers sitting there waiting at $199 and even some more at $198. And then if you look up even further, there's a lot of sellers waiting at $205. So, with Boeing in the short term, keep a very close eye on like 200 and $199 for areas of support. And then that 205 area is, there's definitely a lot of sellers just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, there really is. And if we go out back to the regular chart, you can actually see that 200, we've been seeing a bunch of bounces up right off of that area. And then even 205 has been a pretty big resistance. So I'll keep watching those levels in the short term, and let's just get that good opportunity coming in. It's always good to have that, I would say, confirmation on the book map, right? $200, we all thought it'd be pretty big, and bam, there's those buyers sitting right there.
Yeah, so feel free to try out Bookmap. Stocked Up members do get a discount. It'll be that first link in the description and the comments down below. Global or Global Plus would be the way to go. And it's awesome because there's no other software out there that literally shows you where the buyers and sellers are just at. So check it out. It's pretty awesome. It's that first link in the description and the comments down below. But Tom, let's get right into tomorrow's momentum plays. And with the first one, we have Zoom again to the upside. And this one has just been on fire lately.
It really has, and I think if it could get above 71.50 coming into Monday morning, then go ahead and look up more calls. There's some good opportunities on Zoom here in the short term. Just really make it break 71.50.
All right, with the next one, we have SLV to the upside.
Yeah, silver and gold doing very hot in the short term. If they can break 21.30 just above that high of day Friday, then look for some good momentum.
All right, and then with the next one, we have TLT for both directions.
Oh, yeah, TLT is going to go crazy this week probably with Powell's monetary reports. I mean, we'll have to see what questions he gets asked by those members of Congress, but I'm going to keep watching TLT. If it can break $95 Monday, I'll go ahead and look at calls. If it falls under 94 even, then I'll look at puts.
All right, we have the downside level for puts, and we have the upside level for calls. That's for TLT. You can't forget about the levels with SLV and ZM, though, to the upside. If they break above those levels, then look at them for bullish plays. Basically, with these three momentum plays, we are looking at them for potential quick day trades. They have to break through the levels Tom listed, and we are looking for continuations in those directions. But they're only worth playing if they break through the levels listed. If they don't, then find a new play. But with that being said, let's jump right into today's $654,000 big money trade of the day. And we are looking at ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir. This stock has been doing pretty well over the past year. In the short term, it hasn't had too much hype, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But basically, in the short term, we had the big money put $654,000 into the Palantir 18 strike call options that expire on April 12th of 2024. These call options are deep in the money. They have some time to them, so overall it's not bad. There's a lot of hype in the AI industry right now, which definitely does help out Palantir. At the same time, though, it has been more so with chip stocks rather than, a stock like Palantir, at least over the past couple of weeks. But all in all, the setup's definitely not bad. But I would say it's a little bit more risky than your average big money play.
Yeah, and they just fell in after hours on Friday, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to say, well, why are they getting the calls here and then it falls, right? Well, keep in mind, these are deep in the money, guys. It's the 18 strike calls. The stock fell in after hours down to 24, and this is mainly because it wasn't included into the S&P 500. We ended up seeing SMCI take its place, I guess you could say, but looking at Palantir, it does have that negative momentum short term, but I do feel like, though, Mike, that as this play progresses and as we start to let it go with the time, I think come by April, Palantir could start to be breaking like $25, $26. And if it goes on that nice breakout, these calls will explode. So I'm really just going to watch that big resistance in the short term. If it breaks there, then I think it'll be a nice, viable play.
All right, sounds good. So keep a close eye on this one going forward. This stock is definitely a big mover. So yeah, keep a close eye on it. Looking at the market right now, though, we're right at all-time highs. The euphoria continues to rage on. There's a lot of crazy moving stocks, especially in the chip industry. So make sure to keep a close eye on those ones. Powell's testifying twice this week, and I think this week's going to be another exciting one.
It definitely is. And I think that going into this week, the main thing we always say this, Mike, is to be adaptable. But right now, we're just seeing so much good upside momentum. I mean, it's just hard not to just follow it, right? So just keep your eyes on those breakouts, look for that volatility, and try to catch those good moves. I noticed a lot of these good moves are happening right at market open on a lot of these stocks. So keep that in mind too, guys. Like the earlier in the morning, usually the more volatility there is. So, try to catch those good moves as they come in.
Yeah, you got to follow the money, Tom. Let's go. But we can't close out without giving a giant shout out to today's member of the day, which is Benny C in the StockedUp Discord. You've been in the chat for some time now, and you've been a great member, and you had a great day on Friday. So keep up all the great work, and huge shout out to you. If you guys are new to StockedUp, consider demolishing that subscribe button. You'll see our videos recommended to you more often. We post all the time. We go over charts you won't see anywhere else. We have setups and predictions in every single video, and we cover everything you need to know about the market in usually 20 to 25 minutes or less. So consider joining the StockedUp crew. And besides that, let's have an amazing week in the market.